nice!
Hey, I'm Nico, aka the cheap version of Steve Gaming, and welcome to this new challenge video. Last time we tackled Super Mario 3D World and actually tried to beat it without collecting any coins. Did we succeed? Did we fail? Check that out at the end of this video, because today we're gonna dust out the good old Nintendo DS, pop in the copy of New Super Mario Bros. We have lying around, and see if we can actually get to the end of this game without collecting any coins. Here's the basic rules. You see this little coin counter in the top left corner? It says 0. Well, it must stay that way. New Super Mario Bros. Also features 3 star coins in every stages, and although they don't add up to your coin counter, they still have their own counter on the level select screen, so we want this to remain at 0 too. Now that the rules have been set, let's see if we can actually rescue Princess Peach without being able to afford a date with her afterwards. Here we go. World 1-1 should probably be easy as it's the first level in the game. Well, these first 2 jumps are pretty tricky to begin with. You must use those blocks here to hop in between those 2 coins bunch. The second jump requires you to crouch jump by being super gentle with the A button. But besides that, this level is pretty easy. And the same can be said about World 1-2. Just take it slow and you'll be good. There's no problem at all here. World 1-3 features some shaky mushrooms, but no coins are close to them, so you're all good. World 1-Tower is pretty straightforward at first. There are those moving platforms, but if you take your time, you can avoid any coins up until this part. Here's the problem though. So you're supposed to jump above those 3 coins and then slide right under these 2, but sadly, no matter how many times I tried this, it cannot be done that way. Well, there you go guys, the quest is over. New Super Mario Bros. DS cannot be beaten. Thanks for watching, I'll see you in... Nah, dude, I'm messing with you. There's actually a couple of levels that feature secret paths that can lead to item houses and other crazy stuff. So in World 1-2, if you do just that, you'll get a secret path to an item house. Inside this house you can get a mushroom, a fire flower, a spiny shell, or a mini mushroom. You see where this is going, right? Mario is too fat to fit in between those coins, but what if we got a mini mushroom to help us out? The great thing about the mini mushroom in the new Super Mario Bros. Series is that it makes Mario jump like he's on the freaking moon. It really changes the gravity and makes you glide, which will prove to be really useful throughout our quest, starting with our annoying jump here. And there we go, it's done! But don't rejoice that early, because the second jump proves to be as annoying as the first one. The problem comes from the fact that, for some weird reason, Mario automatically collects a coin when bumping his head on the top part of this block. From what I get, if you bump on the top part of the block, you get to collect the coin that is located on top of it, which isn't what we want here. We can easily solve this issue by making sure to bump our head on the very right corner of the block where there is no coins up above. Doing that gives us enough speed to make it in between those 2 coins and achieve the ultimate victory royale. Can you believe it only took 4 levels to get to a difficult part? This game might not be as easy as it seems. Defeating Bowser Jr. is pretty easy though, just ground pound him 3 times and you're done. World 1-4 is pretty easy to do if you keep your mini mushroom, and from now on I'll be keeping the mini mushroom as I think it really will be required to avoid all coins in most levels. World 1-5 features bouncing mushrooms which bounce you super high as Mini Mario. The only difficult part is here where you gotta land in between the coins and that star coin, but it's easy to do if you just time it right. World 1-Castle doesn't feature any difficult part at all, just jump above or go under the coins and you're good to go. And beating Bowser is pretty easy too, just jump above him, hit the switch, and on that note we completed World 1. Yeah, only 7 more to go. World 2 is the desert world. Yay, gotta love those. World 2-1 is first on our list and features a couple of tight jumps in between the pokies and the coins near them. These jumps can be nerve-wracking, but they're all possible. Sadly, this last jump at the end isn't, but the gaming gods were with us this time, because this block over here contains a P-switch which turns those coins into blocks, so we can just walk over the pokey and finish the level. World 2-2 is really easy, all you gotta do is avoid the spinies that Lakitu throws at you. World 2-3 only has one tricky part, where there's this giant piranha plant surrounded by coins. Make a really precise jump in between everything and you're good to go. World 2-4 is pretty easy and kinda boring. There's this jump here that usually requires you to push a P-switch, but I used my good old buddy Paragoomba and I made it. And yet another reason why Goomba is not useless. World 2-Tower has this part where you're supposed to use that rope to go above the block, but sadly a bunch of coins block our path. As Mini Mario, you can bounce on the dry bone to slide just in between the coin and the block. It's not easy, but it's possible. The battle against Bowser Jr. is, once again, pretty easy. World 2-5 is next, and there's no real annoying coins, just make sure to dodge these coin towers that jump every time there's a ba in the song, and it's pretty easy. World 2-6 is the first auto-scroller level of the game, and basically you want to take it easy for this one. Just let the plants come and go and dodge the coins that the moving platforms crosses, and that's it. World 2-Castle features those rolling spiky boulders, but they're easily avoidable and they're usually far away from the coins, so there's not gonna be any big trouble here. The boss requires you to ground pound it 3 times and then you're done. I guess now's the perfect time to tell you how the multiple paths in this game work. So basically, when you complete the castle in World 2, you'll go right to World 3, but if you are Mini Mario, you'll go straight up to World 4. This can prove to be useful in our quest, as if there was one world that was impossible to complete, we could just try with the other world. Hopefully, this will be of great help in the quest. So I went back to a random level, I completed it with a double-digit end timer, got to a mushroom house and got a mushroom to go back to the castle and complete it as normal Mario. So we now have access to both World 3 and 4, so let's go. World 3-1 will be our first stop, and to be fair, I have nothing to say about this one. You swim underwater and dodge coin bubbles and cheap cheeps. World 3-2 features this really obnoxious mushroom that tilts left and right, but a couple of tries is all that is needed to complete it. World 3-Tower is surprisingly the easiest tower in this run so far. Just keep climbing the fences to the top and that's it. World 3-3 is another underwater level, but just like 3-1, it doesn't feature any danger whatsoever. World 3-Ghost House requires you to hit some switches to create a staircase to go to the top. It's kind of a maze to navigate like all ghost houses, but it's pretty easy anyways. World 3-Castle is really easy. Most of the coins can be easily avoidable. Defeating the boss is super easy and requires 3 well-timed ground pound, and on that note, World 3 is done. Wow, this one was really fast and really easy. Even if we can already get to World 5 now, let's just try World 4 to see if it's possible as well, shall we? World 4-1 just requires you to go under or above the spiders while dodging coins. It's not that difficult. World 4-2 can be a little bit tricky with those purple mushrooms that tilt left and right, although this mechanic proves to be quite useful to dodge some of those annoying coins. World 4-3 is an underwater auto-scroller where you gotta dodge this giant eel, but it's not very difficult. The real scary part is over here, where there's a bajillion coins and nowhere to hide. Well, Technically, we can still hide down there out of the screen to dodge those annoying coins, and on that note, this level is now done. World 4-Tower has this really tricky part here where there's 4 coins and a block. Jumping under the coins is impossible because of the lack of space, and we gotta hurry up because lava is slowly rising under us. We were pretty lucky once again here, because this mystery block contains a mushroom. Here's the game plan. We jump under the block and use the low gravity mechanic to pass under the coin. It worked! The Bowser Jr. boss fight is one annoying one because you need to carefully ground pound the green shell to kick it back on Bowser Jr. Do it 3 times and he's dead. World 4-4 is up next and features wigglers walking left and right. The only tricky part is over here where there are coins everywhere. I don't know how to explain how I did this jump, as it seemed to be quite random, working sometimes and not working other times, but I believe it has something to do with the running speed. So if I had to give out one tip here, just keep running and eventually for some reason you won't fall down. I can't explain this one, guys. World 4-House features one big problem, and it's this part here. So you're supposed to go up the pipe to continue in the level, but to do so, you're supposed to change those blocks into coins using the P-switch. But sadly, we don't want coins. This proved to be quite a problem, but I had one idea I really needed to test before calling it impossible. New Super Mario Bros. Contains a power-up called the Blue Shell. And when you run with this power-up equipped, Mario hides in the shell and you can break blocks you touch. So I went back to an easy level, ended it with the clock ending with the double digit 33, got myself an item house again, and got a blue shell. Then I went back to the ghost house. Can you believe this crazy idea actually worked out? We just break the blocks and we don't collect coins. Who would have thought the blue shell would be so useful? I'm loving it right now. Luckily, the remainder of the level can be easily completed even without a mini mushroom, and on that note, this ghost house is finally done. World 4-5 is super easy as it almost features no coins. World 4-6 requires a mini mushroom because there are way too many coins to dodge as Big Mario. Once that is done, this level won't be much of a challenge. World 4-Castle is not memorable as it features nothing special, although I gotta admit the giant Goomba boss took forever to kill, and at one point I really wondered if my ground pound actually did some damage to it, but a million hits later, he's dead. Who knew giant Goombas were so strong? And yet another proof of Goomba skill. These reasons why he's not useless, they just keep piling up, my dude. World 4 is now done, and we're halfway through the game. Can we do it? World 5 is the mandatory snow world. Let's hope this one's possible. 5-1 starts off easy. It does feature a couple of annoying jumps, but nothing that will ruin your day. For World 5-2, if you take your time and you time your jumps to avoid those spike tops, you're gonna be good. 5-Tower is next, and it features a vertical auto-scroller level. Basically, if you take your time and avoid the spiky boulders, you should be good to go. The only problem you're gonna get with World 5-3 is caused by those annoying spiky charging dudes. What are those supposed to be anyways? Snailicorns? What the heck? So dodge the snailicorns and avoid the coins, and this level is a done deal. 5-Ghost House is pretty easy up until this part with the pink platform. It first starts off by rising slowly, but then decides to start shaking vigorously left and right. This proved to be quite annoying when trying to dodge some coins, and at one point the platform just violently falls down before rising up at the same speed. So stay close to the left wall and you should be okay. World 5-4 features mushrooms that go up or down when standing on them. Keeping that in mind, dodging coins is pretty easy and this level is done. Get ready to bounce from one dry bone to another in World 5-Castle. This one's full of moving treadmills, so you'll need to be extra careful and dodge all sorts of enemies. The boss fight against Piranha Plant is pretty easy. Just wait for it to fall down and ground pound it 3 times. And with that, World 5 is a thing of the past. Let's move on. World 6 is next, and this one starts off in a hard way. World 6-1 is home of bullet bills and narrow paths. This part over here is especially super difficult. Basically, there are so many coins that you gotta dodge to get to the top. It looks impossible at first, and a bullet bill doesn't give you enough height to make it. A wall jump seems to be pretty difficult, and then there's this giant star coin if you manage to get up there without collecting coins. To be honest, I'm glad I am playing this on the Wii U version of the game, allowing me to have save states, because this one probably took me over 50 tries. This is a pixel perfect jump you need to do right there, but eventually you will do it if you keep trying. Once you're up there, there's another hard jump to get to fit right in between that little gap, but this one is way easier, so you should be good. At least World 6-2 is an easy one, and especially having a mini Mario as he can run on water. This is kinda cool looking. World 6-Tower seems easy at first, but soon you'll realize that doing this jump as Mini Mario is impossible. It's actually the first time in this run where the low gravity mechanic actually is the problem for us. Going back there with a normal size Mario seems to be the only way of actually being fast enough to outrun the giant spike, but now the problem comes from the fact that Mario is now too big and hits the coins. Eventually I managed to get the perfect jump, and there you go, this hurdle is complete. It wasn't easy though, let me tell you. World 6-3 is easy until this part near the end where you gotta keep doing wall jumps to avoid those coins on top of those little platforms. World 6-4 is home of another one of those pixel perfect jumps. You know, gotta love World 6 so far, it keeps getting more difficult. World 6-Tower number 2 only has one tricky part where you gotta wall jump off a spike, but it's easy so no worries. World 6-5 features those tornadoes that you want to avoid at all costs, because once you're in those, you can't really control Mario anymore and you will probably grab some coins or get hit by a cheap, and we don't want that. World 6-6 has those springboards that are pretty annoying because you can't really see the coins above you when using them, but you can avoid them by trying. Sadly, this last part here requires you to use those green pipe cannons, and once inside them, you can't really control where you go, and sadly, there are tons of coins. There's no other way of going up but those pipes, so this level is actually impossible for our quest, meaning that we won't get to complete World 6. Alas, the run is not over, because remember that when we completed World 5 as Mini Mario, we got a shortcut to World 7, meaning it might still be possible to complete the game coinless. Let's try it, shall we? World 7-1 is pretty easy, because all you gotta do is take it easy on the moving platforms and dodge a couple of coins here and there. World 7-Ghost House is next, and it's some sort of maze with 5 different doors you can take. Eventually you'll reach this part over here, which is full of spooky coins, but use the P-switch to turn them into blocks and run super fast and you should be okay. World 7-2 is a super boring one where you need to stand on that platform and get to the top. Just go left and right to dodge enemies and coins, and this one will be history. World 7-3 keeps the streak of boring levels, cause in this one you literally hang out on Wiggler until the level is over. Just be careful of the Goomba because they could bounce you on some coins, but besides that, it's done. World 7-Tower only contains one spooky part with moving platforms with spikes and a bunch of coins. It looks way more difficult than it actually is, to be fair. World 7-4's only difficulty comes in the form of not seeing above you. See, you need to use those bouncing pads to progress in the level, but doing so means you won't be able to see what's above you, and sometimes what's above you is a deadly coin. At least you can dodge them by being very careful. World 7-Castle contains a couple of spooky jumps that you need to make with precise timing, because the floor is moving with you, so you want a floor to be there when you jump and where you land. The timing is key here. The boss fight against this Lakitu looking guy is pretty easy, so no worries. And with that, World 7 is officially done. Only one world left. Welcome to World 8-1, a spooky looking level featuring annoying crows that want you dead. But you know, with how small Mario is, they probably think he's food, so you can't really blame them. The level is not that difficult if you take your time, so just be careful and you're gonna be okay. World 8-2 features those annoying pink gliding beetles, but they can easily be dodged, so no worries. And now, welcome to 8-Tower, which features those tiny moving platforms. Jumping from one platform to another ain't really difficult, as there ain't that many coins here. This big platform is required to go up, so a very well-timed wall jump is all that is needed. But sadly, this next part is quite a problem. I'll let you take a good look at it for a second. Yep, this is exactly what you think of. A dead end for this quest. There is actually no way you can go through that little path without collecting all of those coins. And sadly, you cannot go to the left. I'm truly disgusted right now, but here's the harsh truth. You have to complete 8-Tower to keep playing the game. There is no secret exit that can be used to skip it. There's no secret paths that you can buy with star coins. So basically, this is the end of our quest. Can you believe that after all those very difficult parts, those pixel perfect jumps, those tricky ghost houses, we are stuck here? So close to the end of the game, so close to my boy Bowser. But sadly, today I'm here to tell you that no, it is not possible to beat New Super Mario Bros. DS without collecting any coins. I'm as shocked and sad as you guys here, okay? I gotta admit that I really had a blast playing this game though. It was a game that I hadn't played in years, and dodging those coins was actually a pretty fun challenge. The time has come. We have to dust off the good old Wii, get that new Super Mario Bros. Wii disc, and finally play this game without a coin. Can you believe that after 3 years of making these coinless videos, I still hadn't done a proper playthrough of New Super Mario Bros. Wii? Yeah, I know Mayro did one on their channel, but they mainly focused on the fastest path to beat the game, and I will, as usual, try to beat as many levels as I can. So my video is gonna be different, okay? Stay here. The rules are simple. We are going to try to beat New Super Mario Bros. Wii without touching a single coin. We're going to start with World 1 and we'll hopefully make our way to the final level without having to skip one. Just for the record, I'll be using my file that has all levels unlocked, but it's only because it's easier for me to save my game in between each level and just makes everything faster. So do not mind the star tokens being all collected, okay? Now that everything has been set, grab yourself a Nico plushie and let's just jump into it. World 1-1 starts off with a bunch of annoying coins on the way, but with some high jumps and some spin jumps, we can thankfully make it through without touching them. Gotta admit that this was a rough start to this challenge, but it's all good. 1-2 on the other hand starts off with this green pipe that leads to... coins. Are you serious? Is the quest already over 2 levels in? That would be very cringe. I tried spin jumping, using a propeller suit, and nothing seemed to work. Up until I started timing my Wiimote shakes differently and... What? I did it? Well, okay, I can't really explain how I did it and what the exact timing actually is, but I can assure you it is possible. And the rest of the level is thankfully way easier. 1-3 is also a very easy level that does feature a couple of coins, but if you're being careful, you can easily dodge them all. For 1-Tower, you're going to want to have a propeller suit, trust me, as there are lots of yucky coins on the way as you climb up the tower. Your biggest enemy here is the camera that never seems to scroll high enough, making coins appear out of nowhere as you move up. Keep jumping to make that camera move up faster, and by being careful, you'll reach the top and beat the boss easily. 1-4 is the first underwater level, and while it does contain a few annoying coins, they can all be avoided by swimming around them all, so no worries. 1-5 takes place in the sky and features lots of moving blocks and coins on the way, but by timing your jumps just right, you'll be able to clear it quickly. 1-6 starts off with this big circular platform full of yucky yellow coins, and while you can avoid them with some well-timed, very difficult to do jumps, I still suggest getting a propeller suit instead to fly above them all. 1-castle is kind of easy, as most of the coins in the level move along with the cogs and gears, so you can just plan ahead and avoid them all quite easily. World 2-1 starts off with a very annoying sand geysers with coins over it, and without a propeller suit, you'll find this part very hard. 2-2 is thankfully way easier, and none of the coins are on the way. Watch out for those annoying fishy boopkins, and you'll soon reach the flagpole. 2-3 is a very nerve-wracking level, and it's because it takes place in an underground cave and everything is dark in here, so seeing coins is almost impossible. This means that you'll want to move slowly and do short hops only. Scary, but possible. 2-tower contains a lot of coins as you make your way to the top, and I suggest staying small Mario to be able to avoid touching the coins while you climb up the fences. 2-4 features gusts of wind that make yucky coins fly your way. Yo, that is gross. These coins move in a pretty random pattern, so avoiding them is not always easy, but with a bit of luck, you'll clear this level fine. 2-5 contains lots of coins and lots of pokies, which makes this stage quite annoying. Once again, I suggest having a propeller suit for this one to avoid all of the coins on your path. 2-6 does look very difficult, with all of the floating dancing coins in that moving pink block, but if you're being careful and you plan your jumps ahead, you can clear it without a coin. 2-castle is an auto-scrolling level where you are meant to go through the correct path, or else the level loops endlessly. And while the first two sections can be done coinless, when you reach the third part, you are meant to go through this middle path there, and as you can see, it is blocked by, well, bricks. And normally you're meant to hit a P-switch and turn those into coins to go through, but we don't want to do that, cause coins are yucky. There is not much we can do here, unless we have a penguin suit, because with that cool power-up equipped, we can just run and slide through the bricks, breaking them all and allowing us to clear the stage. Nice! World 3-1 is full of penguins, ice and coins, so it's quite difficult. But if you have a propeller suit equipped, you'll be all good. 3-2 is very easy and doesn't feature anything difficult for the quest. 3-3 has a couple of very scary jumps, especially in the first part of the stage, but by being careful, you can clear it coinless. 3-Ghost House is a maze type of level with invisible and hidden doors everywhere. It's super annoying to navigate, but if you have a propeller suit, you'll be able to clear it. Be extra careful when taking the elevator down at the end and you'll be all good. For 3-tower, you're going to need a mini mushroom to be able to fit in between the coins over there, because there's no way to fit in between those coins otherwise. 3-4 is an easy stage that does contain one very difficult section that will absolutely require a propeller suit, but that's about it really. 3-5 is also super easy if you're being careful while making your way to the top. Just use the propeller block to your advantage. 3-castle is a very difficult level with lots of coins to avoid, and you'll have to learn the snake block's path if you want to make it to the end alive. World 4-1 is thankfully way easier, as the only real annoyances come from those cheap cheeps trying to eat you alive. 4-2 contains a few tricky jumps and some coins hidden behind clouds, so be careful with that. 4-3 does contain a lot of coins, but by being careful, you'll be able to dodge them all and beat the stage in no time. 4-tower is pretty much impossible if you don't have a propeller suit, because if you do have one, then you'll beat this one without any problem. Oh, also, shoutouts to this tower level for actually crushing those yucky coins at the start. Ah, this feels so satisfying. 4-4 is a very annoying underwater level, but not because of coins, no, because of those annoying bloopers coming out of nowhere. They are quite the pain in the butt, let me say. 4-Ghost House is an easy level if you know where to go, because it's yet again another maze to navigate and there are hidden doors everywhere. Thankfully, 4-5 is very easy and doesn't feature any coins on your way to the end. 4-Castle is also quite easy. Just get ready to do this very epic gamer slide over there to dodge those coins, and then you'll be all good. 4-Airship is up, and the level is not that difficult. Until you reach this part where there is no way to fit down there without touching a coin. So grab a mini mushroom and you'll squeeze right through. World 5-1 is a level full of annoying piranha plants, but this level also contains an ice flower that you can get from that block. So with that power-up equipped, well, you can just freeze the plants and walk all over them. Cool. 5-2 takes place in a cave underground, and you'll absolutely want to have a propeller suit once you reach this part with all of the evil coins. Once you clear that gap, everything's gonna be good. 5-3 is home to those annoying Bramball enemies I truly hate, but it's also home to that log that is filled with yucky coins, so make sure to use a propeller suit to fly over those. 5-Tower is kind of annoying, with all of the moving spike walls on the sides there. You'll have to do some very scary and precise jumps to avoid all the coins, but it is thankfully possible to do it. 5-4 is a way easier level, and you'll have a good time clearing it. Just chill on the raft and avoid the few coins this level has, and that's it. 5-Ghost House will definitely force you to use a mini mushroom because of those annoying coins over there. Be extra careful and you'll be good. 5-5 is very easy, and those flying jumbo rays will be quite helpful on our quest to avoid the coins up above. 5-Castle is also not that difficult and contains very few coins, so you'll be able to clear it without any difficulties. World 6-1 on the other hand is a very difficult level, and you'll definitely want to have a mini mushroom equipped to avoid the coins that are scattered all over the stage. This jump in particular is a nightmare, but once you get the timing right, it's all good. 5-2 isn't that difficult if you're being careful. But be very careful, as once you reach this part, you will be randomly awarded one yucky coin. Well, simply put, this spiny up there falls down and hits that block that collects that coin for you. Oh, wow, great, thank you. Make sure to bring a fire flower to defeat the spinies before they do collect the yucky coins, and you'll be good. 6-3 will force you to have a mini mushroom because it is full of coins you cannot dodge otherwise. You'll have to be very careful, and the last section where you need to hit the switch and swim quickly to the exit is really scary, and timing is everything, but it is thankfully possible. 6-4 is very easy and will be done in no time. And I'm quite happy about that, because the last few levels were not that nice to us. 6-Tower is easy, and if you take your time and avoid taking risks while making your way up the tower, it's gonna be good. This giant middle spike is very dangerous though, so be extra careful. 6-5 is an easy level, although I do have to say that this big fish can be quite annoying. 6-6 is easy if you just chill on your raft and wait for it to reach the end of the level. Don't do anything stupid and you'll beat it coinless. 6-Castle is also quite easy. Well, that is if you have a propeller suit, because that thing allows you to fly above all of the lava and dangerous coins. 6-Airship does feature some very scary jumps on rotating platforms, so make sure to do short hops to avoid touching the coins. World 7-1 is up, and you're going to need a propeller suit right from the get-go, as there's no way to climb up there without collecting coins. Once you're in the sky, well, there's gonna be a few coins here and there, but nothing too difficult to dodge. 7-2 has a bunch of floating water bubbles, and most of these contain yucky coins, so you'll have to watch out for that, but do not worry. 7-3 is home of the evil fuzzies, and it does contain a couple of coins on the way, but you can avoid them all, thankfully. 7-Tower is kind of tricky because it features a lot of coins, but you just have to tilt the elevator left and right to dodge them all and you'll be good. 7-Ghost House is very annoying, and you'll absolutely have to get a star from this block there as you make your way down, because without a star, you'll be killed by those boos, and going in the middle is not an option because of all of those coins. 7-4 is a bit annoying because of those dancing coins in the sky, but it is thankfully possible to beat it coinless. 7-5 will force you to get a mini mushroom if you want to fit in between all of the dangerous coins over there. Very scary looking, but possible. 7-6 is way easier. In fact, I don't have anything special to say about that one. Just ride the Parabeetles to the end. 7-Castle is a very easy castle level that doesn't contain that many coins. World 8-1 is a very annoying level that features coins appearing out of nowhere and coming at you at full speed, which is pretty cheap, let me say. 8-2 has more circular platforms with coins moving alongside them. Thankfully, you can avoid them all by timing your jumps and moves. 8-3 contains more coins that move with the rotating wheels yet again, but sadly, this section over there has way too many of these coins, so you'll absolutely need to get a mini mushroom to reduce your hitbox and use your low gravity to fit in between all of those coins without touching a single one. 8-Tower is possible, but trust me, you'll want a propeller mushroom to avoid all of the coins moving along with the platforms coming in and out of the walls. Once you reach this point, you might think the quest is over and we are forced to collect a coin, but you'd be wrong, as there's an invisible path over there. Yay! 8-4 is a level taking place in the dark, and it is very difficult to beat, because coins can appear out of nowhere. Sadly, once we reach the end over there, well, this pipe is protected by 3 evil coins. I tried jumping up there, but I always ended up collecting those, and that sucks. But thankfully, we can try going through the secret path on the world map instead, and if that works, then we can skip this level and we'll be all good. 8-7 is an insanely difficult level that takes place on a skull coaster platform moving at high speed. You'll absolutely need a mini mushroom for that if you want to avoid the bazillion coins on the way, and this will take all day to do so. But by playing this level over and over and over again and learning the ins and outs of it, well, you'll be able to beat it coinless. 8-Airship is easy, but bring a mini mushroom to clear this gap under the ship, because without it, well, dodging all of those coins is pretty much impossible. We have now reached World 8-Castle, the final stage of this quest. And this level ain't that bad, really. I mean, it does contain a bunch of coins, sure, but nothing that we cannot dodge by being careful. Once you reach this second part, make sure to avoid all of the coins as the platforms fall down, and you'll reach this pipe that is yet again protected by 3 yucky coins. What? I tried making my way into the pipe without collecting a single one, but alas, it is impossible. For a big Mario, cause bring the mini mushroom, do the level all over again, and ta-da! We can go down the pipe and trigger the animation without touching the coins. It looks completely broken and whatever, it works, I'm happy. Beat Bowser by hitting the switch and then make sure he breaks walls that don't have coins in them, and you'll soon reach the big button and flush him down the drain. See ya! So, is it possible to beat New Super Mario Bros. Wii without touching a single coin? Well, yes it is! It was a very difficult quest containing a bunch of annoying coins to dodge, but with the power of the Nico plushie by my side, I was able to beat it. Yay, we did it, plushie! Whoa, 2 videos this week and 2 videos where I'm trying to make Mario poor by dodging those pesky coins? I told you I wasn't going soft on my boy Mario. Anyway, Tuesday's video was my attempt at completing the secret world in New Super Mario Bros. U, and that game ain't the only one with a secret world, so you know I had to attempt that challenge with the Wii game New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Basically, in this game you collect tons of star coins, and once you beat the final boss, you will have access to a brand new world, World 9. Now, in order to play all those 8 beautiful levels in this new world, you'll need to get all of the star coins, but that ain't a problem. So here's the question now. Is it possible to beat World 9 in New Super Mario Bros. Wii without touching a single coin? The rules are simple. We are going to be playing all of those levels one after another, trying to reach the end flagpole without touching a single ugly coin. In this quest we are allowed to use pretty much every power-up the game throws at you, and as you can see, I've stocked up on a couple of those for this quest, so I think I'm quite ready for it. If you've played this game before, the propeller suit is kind of overpowered, so I'm going to try to avoid using it when possible. Let's say it's gonna be my last resort. Oh, and the star coins do not increase this lovely coin counter up there, so touching them is not a problem at all in this quest, but you knew that already. Alright, let's not waste any more time and let's just jump into it. World 9-1 is our first stop today, and this one takes place up in the sky. There's going to be a couple of coins in your path, but if you wait for the Koopas and Goombas to move out of the way, you'll be just fine. The main mechanic in here are those spinning colored platforms. Some of them have coins on or around them, so you'll have to time your jump just fine if you want to avoid touching one of those deadly coins. This jump here requires you to use those Para Koopa to dodge the coins up above. It ain't nothing too difficult. I'd say the most annoying part is this part with the piranha plant over here, because you have to jump on the pipe when the plant's gone inside of it, but the timing with the spinning platform is so off, it's really annoying. As small Mario, it is actually possible though, and after that the rest of the level is pretty easy and you'll clear it in no time. World 9-2 is next, and this one's a real annoying level. Basically, this Porky Puffer is going to be down here for the entire level and will be annoying you non-stop. At first it's not that bad, but you'll soon reach those vines over there. The first one is kind of okay, because you can just jump like this, but this second one is a pain. As you can see, the water down below is filled to the brim with ugly coins, so swimming is out of the question. And if you jump super high, well, you'll touch those coins up above, so you'll have to slow the vine down and then use the Para Koopa with the perfect timing to bounce onto the second vine. And that was the easy part, because get ready for this, there is no vine in this next part, only coins down below and coins up above, so you really have to nail down the jump to have enough speed to reach the Koopa without touching the coin and then use it to bounce to the other side. Whew, this is really difficult and will take a while to pull off, but it feels so satisfying once you finally do it. Once you reach this part, don't even think about going up, as this tunnel is filled with coins. The trick here is to jump in between the coins and the Koopas, because hitting the Koopa is quite dangerous, because you could kick their shells and then collect all of those annoying coins. If you have no choice but to hit a Koopa, just grab the shell and try to bring it with you without touching a coin. And sometimes you can even bang those two shells together and get rid of them. Nice! Oh hey, it's Nico from the future. I just realized that you can just hit this block over there to get a P-switch, and then it turns all of those coins into blocks, and it just makes the whole process way easier. Just wanted to let you know. The next part are going to be filled with those stretching platforms and those shadow coins. For the platforms, if you're being careful, you can avoid putting yourself in any real danger. For the shadow coins, well, they only turn into coins once you touch them, so if you run real fast, they'll turn into coins once you're gone, so you'll never collect them. Make some precise jumps, and the end of the level is right there. Nice! World 9-3 is up, and this one contains a lot of those red homing bullet bills. In a normal playthrough you might find them quite annoying, but to be fair, they are immensely helpful in our quest to dodge coins, as you can use them to jump super high and avoid all danger. For the second part of this level, you'll see homing banzai bills. Basically, these guys move up until they reach your height and then they start moving left or right, so you can actually use that to your advantage to make them fly where you want them to be. You might have to do some crouch jumps here and there, but don't worry about that. Make sure to jump super high to make the banzai bill spawn really high for this final set of coins, and you'll finally complete this level. Next up is World 9-4, and this one is a lovely auto-scrolling level filled with bubums and bricks. You'll have to be very patient in this level as you don't want to blow up too many bombs or else you won't be able to make it because you'll have no floor to jump on. This jump in between those two moving blue pipe is kind of annoying to time, but you can thankfully do it by being extra careful. So this next part has those platforms that move down when 2 or more things are on it. The first platform is not a problem, but the second one has coins above and under it. I found out that by running to the very right edge of the screen, you can actually manage to get out of that platform before the cannon has a chance to spit out a bomb, so it's not as hard as it looks. For this next platform, it's the complete opposite, as you'll want to wait for the bombs to go on the platform to make it go down so you don't touch the coins up above. Enter that yellow pipe and this level is complete. World 9-5 is a snow-themed vertical level filled with those penguin enemies that slide down while moving left and right. They're quite annoying, but they won't be your biggest problem in this level. You see, the beginning is not that difficult, but you'll soon reach this part here where you have to go up this platform, but there are some coins in the middle of it. No matter what I did, I couldn't get Mario to go up without collecting one of the coins. I tried from the right, and I tried from the left after removing those ice blocks, but it's no use. Mario is too fat. He ate too much pasta. We have no choice here but to send Mario to the gym. Nah, that would be too long. Let's just use a mini mushroom instead. With this power-up now equipped, we can fit in between the wall and the coins just fine. Keep going up to find some fuzzies, so you'll have to time your jumps right if you want to make it to the top. Thankfully, you can use a ground pound to stop moving left and right when in the air, and it might help you control Mario better. But make sure to press up again to cancel that ground pound, or else you'll hit those blocks and get a disgusting coin. Ew. Jump above those final 3 fuzzies to reach the end, and this level is done. World 9-6 is next, and this one features a lot of lava, forcing you to time your jump just right. Thankfully, it's not that difficult at first. If you're being patient and careful, you can dodge those lava geysers and the coins up above. It is kind of scary looking, but it's not that difficult, up until this part, which features lots of coins on these donut platforms. As far as I can tell, there is no way to make that jump as normal Mario, and even using that enemy doesn't give us enough altitude to make it above the coin. It might work with really precise timing, but I just couldn't do it. Sadly, it is time to use our backup strat, the propeller suit. Now you can imagine that this level is now a total joke thanks to that suit, which is why it's my last resort item. I mean, imagine a video where I just fly above all of the coins, that would be boring. Once that part with the coins and the donut is cleared, the rest of the level is super easy and can be done without that suit. It is a shame that we had to use it though. Anyways, welcome to World 9-7, a stage filled with ice blocks and fire-spitting piranha plants. Basically, once the fireball touches the ice block, it melts. This makes the level a little more stressful, as you'll want to clear it as soon as possible before the ice melts. And some of the ice blocks do contain deadly coins, so you'll really want to run super fast. But thankfully, beside those ice-cold coins, there is nothing else to ruin your day in here. It is actually quite easy if you're running super fast. The only difficulty comes from those fire bros at the end, but yeah, they're right next to the flagpole as you can see, so this difficulty will be cleared in a matter of seconds. It is time to enter World 9-8, the last stop of the day, and this one will be a pain in the butt right from the get-go. The floor is made out of those bouncing clouds, and there are coins up in the air literally everywhere. Even in those clouds over there, that's cheap. How could I tell there were coins in that cloud? Come on, game. I tried this level a couple of times, enough times for my Wiimote batteries to start dying on me, and everything was going okay up until this part with the giant banzai bills. As you can see, there are lots of coins to show you where those banzai bills will appear. And dodging those bullets ain't the problem, it is dodging the insane number of coins, that is the real issue. My first idea was to use a propeller suit to glide above the coins, but that was a terrible idea, and it didn't make it easier at all. Then I hit that block, and a mini mushroom appeared, and oh yeah, I think we can do something with this one. When you are Mini Mario, the gravity is super low, so it almost feels like you're floating on the moon. Obviously, this is great to control where you want to go, and combined with ground pounds and spin jumps, this power-up becomes your best ally for this level. Going under those coins is now a piece of cake, and even the super difficult Banzai Bill becomes quite easy. Stay to the left and keep ground pounding to dodge those coins over there, and then go above this next set of coins. And the same thing goes for these next two, and there you go. The flagpole is right there and we can grab it and finish this quest. Pretty cool. So, is it possible to beat the Secret World 9 in New Super Mario Bros. Wii without touching a single coin? Yes, it actually is, and it's not the most difficult challenge you'll try, so you should go for it. Basically, the main difficulty comes from World 9-2 with the tricky jumps and World 9-8, which forces you to use a mini mushroom, but besides that, it is a cakewalk. What's up everybody, it's me, Nico, and welcome back to another challenge video. And luckily for us, Nintendo released a brand new port of a Wii U game for the Nintendo Switch, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. Obviously, this Mario game features those ugly yellow coins that are scattered everywhere for us to collect. But you know me, I ain't touching those. No, no, no. But look, I've read your comments in the previous videos, okay? You guys are sick of me trying to make Mario poor. You think he suffered enough. And while I strongly disagree with you, today we'll give our plumber boy a break. In fact, we're actually going to be playing the entire game as the brand new character in the Mario series, Peachette. The rules are simple. There's a coin counter in the top left corner of the screen at all time, and we'll want to keep this lovely 0 there. Star coins can be collected without increasing the coin counter, so we won't really care about them. If we grab some, so be it. This entire run will be done using Peachette, which can be obtained right from the start in World 1-1. If we get hurt as Peachette, we turn into Toadette, which will force us to purposely lose a life and go back to World 1-1 to grab a Super Crown back. This means we cannot be using any other power-up that could prove to be helpful, like a Fire Flower, Ice Flower, Mini Mushroom, or a Squirrel Suit, as they turn us back into Toadette, and that's cheating. Power-ups that keeps us in the Peachette form are allowed, such as stars. We'll also be trying to complete most of the levels without using secret exits. We're only going to use those if we are truly forced to, because some of the levels are unbeatable and we're stuck. Now that everything has been set, it's time to see if we can beat New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe as Peachette without touching a single coin. Here we go. World 1-1 is easy. Just hit the squirrel, grab the suit, and then hit that block to become Peachette. For the rest of the level, there aren't any dangerous coins, just take your time and you'll beat it. World 1-2 does feature a couple of narrow spaces which look scary, but usually Peachette can squeeze in between most of the coins. Make sure to glide when you arrive on this slide because it's full of gross coins. The jump at the end of the slide is also kind of annoying because if you use your super jump at the wrong time, you'll hit the ceiling and grab those coins. But besides that, the rest of the level is quite easy. World 1-Tower is up and it's not that difficult. The scariest part is this one over here where you have to go from cogs to cogs while making sure not to hit any coins in between them. Defeat Boom Boom and you can finally save your game. Yep, this is something you should know. You cannot save everywhere in this game. You actually have to complete a tower, a castle, or a secret exit to be able to save the game. That means that I went back to World 1-Tower a million times during this quest just to be able to save my game. World 1-3 is thankfully not very difficult. Most of the coins are located on those rolling hills, and if you just go above them, you'll be done in no time. World 1-4 is up, and it's a very annoying level because of one mechanic. Those clouds over there. They look beautiful and harmless, but they do contain tons of disgusting coins behind them, so when you plan your jumps, make sure never to land on those clouds. Now, even though we can already go to World 1-Castle, let's try World 1-5. This level is not too difficult up until you reach this part over here. There's a huge piranha plant and a lot of coins. I tried squeezing in between those, but I just couldn't do it. Plus, since we can't use the fire flower, we can't just get rid of the plant and use the pipe. Sadly, I wasn't able to complete this level as Peachette, but thankfully we can still reach 1-Castle. And this castle takes place over a big lava pit, which forces us to do really precise jumps. To be real, this level was very scary at first, but if you really take your time and plan your jumps carefully, you'll reach the end in no time. Defeat Lemmy, and World 1 is now done. World 2-1 is not a very difficult level, the only difficulty being those statues that fall down at the end along with the coins above them. I wasn't expecting that at first and I got trolled, which forced me to restart. World 2-2 is quite the scary level. It takes place in a dark cave full of pokies and coins above them, so you'll have to find a way to fit in between the coins and the pokies, which is way harder than it looks. Those sand pillars are also pretty annoying as they often push you upward to a gross coin waiting to be collected. The second part is also pretty scary and forces you to use Yoshi to do a very technical jump. You see, you're supposed to go up the pipe over there, but there are coins on every platforms, so the way I found of doing so was to do a jump off my boy Yoshi to then glide above all of the coins and use the Peachette super jump to get inside the pipe. It looks really easy right now, but trust me, it took a lot of tries to pull that off. World 2-3 starts off with us going down this pipe and yeah, we automatically collect some coins as we leave the pipe, and there's no way of dodging that, so this level is impossible. World 2-Tower is up, and my tip here would be to avoid spinning the screws here because most of those platforms that you will move contain coins on top of them. But with Peachette's great flying ability, you can usually just go up the tower without using them most of the time. At the end here, you're supposed to turn those screws and use those pipes, but considering we want to avoid those gross coins, we're gonna have to be more technical and use that dry bones and a couple of wall jumps to reach the top. World 2-4 is thankfully not very difficult. Just avoid the fishy boopkins throwing spiky balls and you'll reach the end in no time. The same can be said for World 2-5. Basically, just time your jumps to fit in between the falling rocks and the coins and you'll reach the end. This one is way more technical because it does contain a fair amount of coins, but nothing our famous Peachette glide and jump technique cannot solve. World 2-6 introduces us to our boy Lakitu for the first time in this game, and I'm gonna admit I kinda like him in this one. We can just defeat him and hop in his cloud to dodge all of those pesky coins. World 2-Castle is next, and this level is a tricky one. It features a lot of moving platforms, which at first is nothing out of the ordinary. But at one point, you'll reach this part here, which looks impossible, and you cannot just go up the pipe to dodge it. In fact, all you gotta do is to crouch and let the blocks push you to safety. It's really way easier than it looks. This second part here is quite a problem though, as there's no way we're gonna be able to squeeze in between the coins and the blocks in here. But luckily for us, we can do a spin jump followed by a high jump to go on top of the moving blocks and we'll be all good. After completing World 2, we arrive at this cross path, but I decided to go with the water world down there first. World 3-1 is pretty easy if you take your time, as it doesn't contain any scary parts. World 3-2 is kind of tricky. It takes place underwater, and as Peachette, you swim like a mermaid as you have the same swimming ability as Mario in his penguin suit. This proves to be a blessing and a curse, as this additional speed is really nice to dodge coin bubbles, but sometimes the speed can make you touch coins or enemies you normally wouldn't touch. Be on the lookout when you touch the midway flagpole, as you'll be awarded a shower of coins for touching it. Come on. World 3-Tower is up, and this tower is completely flooded, and this proves to be quite a problem right from the get-go because of this part here. Sadly, there's no way of going up without touching those coin bubbles, and there's no hidden passage which could help us dodge those. I can't believe this is how World 3 will end for this quest. At least, you remember that we went to this world by going down this path here, so let's just go up this time and see if World 4 will prove to be better for us. World 4-1 is a pretty nice and relaxing level. Basically, abuse your spin jumps and super jumps and you'll reach the end of the level easily. World 4-2 is also pretty easy, just do not run too fast to the right to be able to see where those sliding penguins will be, and you'll reach the end and complete this level in no time. World 4-Tower starts off with us having to go up here, but you can't just walk there because of the coins, and if you use your super jump, you'll hit those falling icicles and lose Peachette. Thankfully, I had a star in my items at the time, so I think it's a pretty good place to use it. And now that we are invincible, we can clear this first part without any problem. This doesn't change the fact that the rest of the level is still kinda tricky, especially this elevator part, which will force you to slide in between the ceiling and those coins in a way that won't get you killed and won't collect those bad coins. World 4-3 is up, and this level is pretty easy to be fair, it doesn't contain any tricky or difficult part. World 4-4 is also pretty easy, containing only one tricky part over here where you can't go above all of those coins, and going under them is pretty difficult because there's a million bullet bills. It's still possible to do it if you take your time. World 4-5 is up, and takes place in a cavern full of dangerous icicles waiting to fall on you. Not being able to collect any coin does make your task a little bit more difficult, but I can assure you that this level is possible. It just takes a little time and a little bit of practice. Next up is World 4-Ghost House, and you can clearly see this level is gonna be quite the problem. So in order to proceed here, you have to hit the P switch to turn all of those blocks into coins, and then you're supposed to go through. Yeah, this is kind of bad for this quest, and sadly we cannot use any power up that could help us over there, and there are no Koopa shells to break those blocks around. I am sad to report that this level is also impossible. And now, with both World 3 and 4 impossible to complete, is the quest over? How can we expect to go to World 5? Well, remember the rules. If we are forced to use the secret exits, then we can use them. And right now we're kind of forced to do so. Let's go back to World 2-4 because near the end over there we can just slide under here to find a secret pipe, and this secret exit will bring us to a super secret level located in World 4. World 4-Ice is next, and if you just use Peachette and glide above all of the level, you'll beat it in no time. And look where this level brings us, right to World 5. Isn't that convenient? World 5-1 takes place in a world full of giant Goombas and giant Koopas. You want to avoid them at all costs because knocking a Koopa shell will automatically hit lots of blocks that might contain deadly coins. Use your Peachette ability to jump above all of the obstacles and you'll be done in no time. World 5-2 isn't particularly difficult, but it does contain a fair amount of coins coming up from the poison water down below, so this will force you to time your jumps correctly. World 5-3 is a pretty tricky stage because there's a lot of obstacles and coins that only pop up as you walk through the level, and this will mean that you don't want to speedrun this level. Just take your time and you'll beat this level. World 5-Tower is up and forces you to jump on those snake blocks to go up the tower. You'll often have to jump in between coins and those spiky pendulums, but thankfully all of the jumps can be done if you take your time and learn the patterns. The part near the end is really spooky because you have to crouch jump in between everything, which is really tedious, but a couple of tries should do the trick. World 5-Ghost House is up, and this one really is a maze. You'll have to go through many doors to reach the end, and this part in the dark is especially really scary. You can't move too fast because there might be coins hiding in the shadows, so just take it super slow. For this final part here on the platforms going down, just keep looking left and right to make sure no boos are moving, and you'll reach the final door down below. World 5-4 is pretty easy, and after a scary level like the ghost house we just did, this is very welcome. Basically, just avoid the boos, the poison water, and the plants coming out of pipes, and this level will be done. World 5-5 takes place underwater, so it's going to be a very difficult level. There's a part in here where the big statues fall down and block your path if you're not fast enough, forcing you to collect those coin bubbles, which isn't what we want. I suggest you grab a star from the block over there. This will make your life 10 times easier now that you can actually see the level layout and swim super fast through the boos. we're going to have to take the secret exit over here to proceed to the next level, because if you don't, you just get a loop that goes back to the same level. So in this case, it's actually necessary to use the secret exit. World 5-6 is up, and Peach's high jump ability will be needed to complete this level, as lots of coins are lying there in the sky in a half circle shape. Glide your way to safety, and this level is done. World 5-7 is next, and you're supposed to use the Wiggler to get to the end, but Peach's high jumping skills will help us move on without the Wiggler. And this is actually needed for this part over here. You see, you can actually go above those platforms, but they're full of coins, so don't land on them. What you want to do is use your high jump to go above it, and then land on this paratroopa to then go under these blocks, and then you'll be able to proceed to the next part without using the Wiggler. It looks way harder than it actually is, so don't be too scared. World 5-Castle is up, and this one isn't as bad as it looks. Just look for the perfect timing to fit in between the lava waves while dodging all of the coins, and this level will be a thing of the past. World 6-1 is a very easy level and doesn't contain anything difficult. World 6-2 starts off with this underwater part that looks like a dead end to this run, but thankfully we can go above this platform over here and slide down to safety, and thus dodging those pesky coins. World 6-Tower is kind of dangerous and features some nerve-wracking jumps in between coins. Everything is so narrow in this tower, it truly is a scary level up until the very end. World 6-3 is next, and it's tricky near the beginning, but the real problem comes from when you enter this pipe and reach this part. There are coins spinning around this block, and sadly there's no way to go around it, so yeah, this level is actually impossible. But once again, it's on a branching path, so we can still try World 6-4 and hopefully finish that one. Fingers crossed. Well, we're good, because World 6-4 is actually super easy and doesn't feature anything difficult. World 6-5 is also a pretty easy level. Basically, just use Peach's high jump over here and you'll skip most of the level. World 6-Tower is next, and usually you'll want to use the screws on the platforms to make it move, but considering the coins are either placed on top of the screw or above the whole platform, you'd want to use the spin jumps and high jumps from our girl Peachette to get to the top. Obviously, some of the platforms are actually safe to use, so just make sure to go slow and watch for what's above you, and you'll reach the end in no time. World 6-7 is next, and the level itself is pretty easy. Just time your jumps and you'll be good. The problem lies near the end of the level here. You see, you're supposed to enter this pipe over there, but as you can see, there is a lot of coins around it, and there's actually no way to go around or any other pipe. Yeah, we're not gonna do this level, it's actually impossible. And that leads us to a dead end. Once again, it's time to use our secret exit, especially the one in level 6-5, which is located over here. Use it and you'll now be able to hit the red switch over there, bringing you right to World 6-Castle. And since we're using the back entrance of this castle, we're just gonna wall for like 2 seconds and we're gonna be at the end, so it's super easy and doesn't feature any danger whatsoever. With that said, World 6 is now done. World 7-1 is up, and it does feature some coins in those bubbles, but nothing that would be too difficult. World 7-2 is also pretty easy, and our boy Lakitu is here to help. Knock him out of his cloud and grab it, and it's gonna be a breeze. World 7-3 is also not very difficult, but it does have this part here which is kinda scary, but if you go up the secret pipe over there, you'll be able to skip those deadly coins. World 7-Tower is a really annoying level, and that's because there's a lot of ninja coins that appear when you touch certain platforms. So yeah, you're planning for your next move and then all of a sudden, boom, ninja coins. That's unfair and really cheap. The Fire Bros are also pretty mean, throwing fireballs that you have to dodge while you're already hard at work at dodging those annoying coins. It took me a lot of tries, but eventually I finished this tower and made it to the next part. World 7-Ghost House is next, and this one is pretty easy. Just take your time and find the secret doors. World 7-4 is also not very difficult because of the bouncy clouds that are very helpful. World 7-5 is forcing you to swim in those floating bubbles that contain coins, which is way harder as Peach had because of her swimming skills. World 7-6 wants you to hop on those snake blocks and go slowly through the level, but look at the time, we don't have time for that. Let's just glide from Koopa to Koopa until the end. World 7-Castle is up, and this one is a nightmare. Seriously, it is a very difficult and technical level. It contains moving platforms, clouds with coins, big hammer bros that stun you, and narrow spaces forcing you to do very technical jumps. This part in particular is just insanely difficult. You're supposed to crouch jump in between those two sets of coins, and then you'll want to jump above those two platforms that will crush you, only to go back down, and then quickly crouch jump above those two other sets of coins, and then spin jump when this platform is coming back at you without accidentally touching the coins up there. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, okay? I tried for hours to complete this, but I just couldn't do it. I knew it was possible, cause I did all of those things separately, I just couldn't do them all one after another. And you know what, I was so focused on doing those jumps that I completely overlooked something. Look at what's above this giant hammer bro, a POW block. What if we could take that block to get rid of a couple of coins in this very difficult place? Well, it works, it's actually a pretty good strategy. I'm kinda mad it took me so long to actually find that out. And once you do this, there's way less coins to crouch jump over, making it a million times easier, and there we go, we did it. But before we can move on to the final world, we have to go to World 7-Airship, which is pretty easy thankfully. It's just long and boring because it's an auto-scroller, but most of the coins are easily avoidable. World 8-1 is next, and the fireballs falling from the sky are pretty annoying, restricting your movement options. But then again, these fireballs also get rid of enemies and blocks in your way, so you know, they're kinda helpful. World 8-2 is really easy if you take your time. World 8-3 is also very easy if you time your jumps with the rising lava. It's time for World 8-Castle, and this one forces you to get rid of anything that falls on this elevator. But you can actually just high jump to get the platform out of the screen, and then you go back down and everything that's on it is vanished. Abuse this game mechanic and you'll beat this level in no time. World 8-Bowser is up, and this one is really easy as Peachette. Just bounce on Bowser Jr. and glide until you reach the end. The first battle against Bowser is really easy too, just wall jump above him and there you go. Now this cutscene here is actually funny as Peach doesn't really understand who's coming to rescue her. She's really confused and I don't blame her, Peach and Peachette are pretty much the same thing. Let's grab the Koopa cart and there you go, Bowser is defeated. We did it. But sadly, in the cutscene right after you defeat Bowser, Peachette turns back into Toadette to receive her kiss from Peach. That's a shame. I would have loved to see how Peach would react to being saved by someone that looks just like her. In conclusion, is it possible to beat New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe as Peachette without touching a single coin? Yes. Yes it is, cause we did it. This challenge did contain some really difficult parts, but I'm gonna say that it wasn't the most difficult challenge ever, so I suggest you try it if you got this game. Look, I hear ya. You think I'm starting to get soft on my boy Mario, you know, letting him get away with collecting coins. I know I've been focusing on other games like Yoshi without an egg or the Mario Kart franchise without item boxes, but be assured that today we are getting back to our roots. Is it possible to beat New Super Mario Bros. U without touching a single coin? Well, I know Steve did it, even I did it as Peachette, but nobody actually attempted the secret world in this game. Located in the middle of the map inside that lovely star-shaped teleporter lies the Superstar Road, a world you can only unlock after collecting all of the star coins in the many levels of the game. This new world features 9 brand new levels. So here's the thing, can we beat all of those levels without touching a single coin? The rules are simple. We're going to be playing these levels one by one and attempt to get to the end flagpole without touching those dirty, smelly coins. We are allowed to use pretty much everything to get to the end, maybe except for the P acorn, because that thing lets you fly forever, so you know, that's kinda cheap. I'll also try to avoid using the boost platforms because that would be pretty lame, as you could just place platforms forever and there will be no challenge at all. Alright, now that the rules have been set, let's just jump into it. Superstar Road 1 is up, and this one won't be that difficult, right? It's the first one after all. Oh, it's a roller coaster level. Alright, not a problem. Except it is a problem. This level is insanely difficult. Let me try to explain what thing you can expect in here. A spine coaster going sometimes very fast and other times very slow. Fuzzies preventing you from moving all you want. Obviously, there are going to be coins, lots of them actually, but the worst kind of coins too. The coins that move around and sometimes just pop up in front of you. Oh great, nice. And here's the thing, if you think about doing this level without an acorn suit, you're a very crazy person, as some of the coins will absolutely require you to have one. I learned that very fast, trust me. It took me countless tries and over 3 hours, but I eventually made it to the end of the level without a coin. So let me actually show you a tutorial on how to do it yourself, if you're that crazy. First off, dodge those 3 coins at the beginning before jumping on the spine coaster. Now, some coins are going to pop up as the coaster is moving up, but don't do anything. As the coaster goes down, some evil coins will pop up, so make sure to jump and glide to safety. Jump over the fuzzy while making sure not to touch those 2 coins, then move near the back of the coaster and these coins will move out of your way. To dodge those as the coaster falls down, make sure to hold down on the D-pad to slide under the coins. Those next coins are going to move out of your way to then place themselves in a very bad spot, forcing you to spin jump above the first fuzzy to then squeeze yourself in between the coins and the second fuzzy. Very precise trick. It will take a lot of time to make it, trust me. As the coaster goes up those little platforms, you'll see 4 coins, but 2 of those are going to move out of the way, so just jump above the remaining 2. Now this is the easy part. Just wait patiently for the coaster to move up, and you might want to grab a star from this block here to protect yourself from the falling fuzzies up ahead. Make sure to hit this block and grab a second star, as it will make your life easier in a minute. But just before that, make sure to jump as the coaster goes down in here, as those 4 coins will be right in your path. Now here's what the star we got earlier was for, those 2 fuzzies. They both have coins above them, preventing you from jumping, so having a star just allows you to lazily wait for them to destroy themselves. But watch out for those 4 coins, as they will slowly move in your path, so you'd want to make a run for the head of the coaster to dodge them all. Thankfully, the star makes you run super fast, so you'll be able to dodge them without a problem. As you then go down, jump above this fuzzy while making sure not to touch a single coin. Coins are going to appear out of nowhere on this part, but if you just move to the back of the coaster without jumping, you should be good. But I have to mention that sometimes the coins popping up would just touch Mario, which happened from time to time to me, and I can't really explain why. It was really frustrating to say the least. Anyways, while the coaster is moving up, 2 coins are going to appear out of nowhere, so you want to spin jump above them, only to spin jump once again above those 2 coins to dodge them and the fuzzy underneath. Wow, okay. So here's my weird trick for this part. I actually had trouble getting the jumps down there to work fine for me, so I eventually just decided to jump off the coaster when it was going down to then glide and then land back on top of it, dodging all of those pesky coins. Jump above those annoying coins as you land, and if you are forced to use your squirrel jump, will quickly ground pound to get back on the coaster. Then you must rapidly spin jump above all of those coins and make sure to go real close to the head of the coaster to trigger those coins, which are so tall that you will actually have to use the squirrel jump again. to dodge those next 2 coins, you'll have to slide under them as the coaster goes up. I know it's weird, it's really precise, but it works. And then you want to start gliding to the right, but stop, just to wait for all of the evil coins to spawn, and then glide back under them to the flagpole. Oh my gosh, this took 3 hours to get. I was getting really frustrated and annoyed, and this was only 1 level. Alright, now let's move to another one, alright? Next one's gonna be easier, hopefully. Superstar Road 2 is next, and it's actually named Run For It. And to be honest with you, this is the best tip that the game can give you. Basically, the only coins will be located at the beginning there, but if you run fast enough, you'll always make it to the next P-switch, meaning you'll always have blocks in front of you and no coins will ruin your day. Obviously, watch out for those 3 evil coins at the end, and then you'll be done in no time. Whew, that one was easy. Superstar Road 3 is up, and this one takes place underwater. The whole gimmick behind that level is the huge cheap chump that keeps coming back to try to eat you, forcing you to move fast while dodging him and the coins at the same time. For this level, I suggest getting a fire flower, as it will allow you to kill the cheap chump, but don't put your guard down, as even when defeated, it will come back after about 2 seconds. Eventually, you'll see this barrage of coin bubbles and cheeps, and I'd love to tell you my crazy story of how I got rid of them all and made my way to the next part, but I actually just damage boosted through them. Yeah, kinda cheap, but it works. Now keep dodging all of the remaining enemies and coin bubbles, and you'll make it to this pipe, which indicates the end of the level. Superstar Road 4 takes place in an underground icy cavern, and you'll see this place has plenty of coins. Thankfully, this block contains an acorn suit, which will be of great help in this quest. Basically, you'll need to glide to avoid those coins up there, and then you'll have to slide down this wall to dodge those 3 coins. Just wait for those hammer-shaped platforms to form a bridge to dodge all of these coins up there, and this next part is actually really annoying with those circles of coins. So here's my best strategy. Jump on the pendulum platform to make it move, then quickly go back to the left. Wait for a little bit and then glide under the first circle of coin and then glide to the pipe over there, as it will be your best buddy to dodge all of the coins, and the rest of the level is actually quite easy. Whew. Superstar Road 5 is our next stop, and it's called Spinning Platforms of Doom. But to be real honest here, these platforms are not very annoying, as you can glide above them. Go under this first vine, then above this second one to dodge all of the coins. This part has lots of coins and actually looks impossible at first, and it might be, I don't know, cause you can actually just go above it. So yeah, that's kind of a cheat, but it works. Glide your way to the flagpole, and there you go. This level is done, and it was probably the easiest one so far. Superstar Road 6 features lots of spinning fireballs, but it won't be a big problem up until this part here, which does feature a lot of coins. Sadly, there is no going up above this time, so no cheat, but thankfully it is possible to actually slide down there without touching a single coin. But I suggest you take damage and become Small Mario for this part, as it will be kind of easier to dodge all of those coins. Jump above the fire bars to reach the next part, which is a vertical level where you have to get to the top. There ain't a lot of coins in this new section, but the few that are on your way can actually all be dodged by being extra careful and doing short hops jumps. Superstar Road 7 is actually quite easy. It does feature a lot of coins on those moving platforms, but you can dodge them with the acorn suit, and at one point my boy Lakitu will appear, and if you defeat him, you can actually grab his cloud and fly above all of the stage hazards. And since Lakitus keep reappearing, you can just jump from one cloud to another. So yeah, this level can be completed very easily. Here comes Superstar Road 8, a castle featuring those spiky pendulum balls. grab your trusty acorn suit and use the donut platforms to go under the spike pendulums to then fly back up there. And you'll have to use that strategy many times in the level in order to get to the end of it without touching a single coin, a pendulum, or a bad enemy. Hit that switch that makes red blocks appear at the end and dodge those final 2 coins, and there you go. This stage is done and we have completed almost all of the levels without touching a coin. Only one remaining, and it's Superstar Row 9. This level is called Follow That Shell, and you'd usually throw that shell and follow it to the end, but we're not gonna do that here, as the shell will collect tons of coins and that's not cool. Not using the shell is actually quite easy, and doing so will allow you to dodge all of the bad coins. Sadly, this part over here will be a problem for this quest, as you can't really ground pound those blocks without touching the coins down there, and you can't really go anywhere else in here. So we're actually going to have to use a shell, but very briefly. Grab it from this Koopa Troopa and use it to break those 2 blocks to then squeeze under them, and once you fall down there, just glide back up, and that's pretty much it really. This is already the end of the level, and as you can figure out, the end of today's quest. So, is it possible to beat the Superstar Road in New Super Mario Bros. U without touching a single coin? Yes, it actually is. The main difficulty was the first level, but once you're past that, the rest is really not that difficult. There are some hurdles here and there, but nothing I haven't experienced in my past challenges. So, a little bit more than a month ago, my boys at Nintendo decided to put New Super Mario Bros. U in the port machine and released New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. I was quick to start playing it with the new character Peachette, aiming at completing the game without touching a single coin. If you haven't checked out that video, you should totally do it by clicking the card up there. But now, as you may know, the deluxe version of this game contains the new Super Luigi U DLC, which features 82 new courses for you to play on. Now, what if we try to complete these levels without touching a single coin? The rules are simple. We're gonna be playing through New Super Luigi U, playing as the brand new character Peachette, while avoiding all of the coins. Basically, there's a coin counter on the top left over here, and we are going to be trying to keep this lovely counter at 0. Collecting star coins doesn't increase the coin counter, so it won't be an issue in here. Peachette can be obtained by playing as Toadette and collecting a Super Crown, which is available right from the start in World 1-1. Taking damage as Peachette turns us back into Toadette, which will force us to lose a life and start the level over. So this means that in addition to avoid all of the coins, we cannot take any damage or use any power-up that would remove us from the Peachette form, such as fire and ice flowers or propeller, mini mushroom, squirrel suits. We're also going to try to complete this game without using secret exits. That is, if possible. If we stumble upon a dead end and can be saved by a secret exit, then we shall do it. Now that everything has been set, it's time to see if we can beat New Super Luigi U Deluxe without touching a single coin. Here we go. World 1-1 is the intro level where you'll first grab your Super Crown and become the incredible Peachette. As you can tell, this level is not the most difficult one, mostly featuring platforms moving up and down, but just take your time and you'll dodge all of the coins in here. World 1-2 does feature this part where you have to do a well-timed wall jump to dodge those coins, but it's not that difficult. World 1-Tower is next, and let me tell you that this one is far from being easy. You see, you have to get up the tower by jumping on those moving cogs, but there are those very fast coins rotating all around them, so you'll actually have to hide inside the cogs while avoiding those fire torches. A couple of nerve-wracking jumps later, you'll arrive at the top and this level will be complete. World 1-3 is thankfully very easy, as it only features one critical jump over here where you must squeeze your way in between the coins and the platform. The rest of the level is pretty easy though. World 1-4 does feature a lot of piranha plants, moving platforms, and coins. This part over here is especially annoying as you must glide in between all of this with perfect timing and execution. But wait, this next one is even more difficult. I actually couldn't figure out how to clear it, so I actually decided to glide under the platform, and it worked! World 1-5 does feature a plethora of coins, but with the help of Peachet's gliding ability, you'll make it to the end in no time. World 1-Castle is next, and this one does contain a lot of coins on those platforms swinging left and right, but thankfully you can dodge most of them by using Peach's spin jump and gliding abilities. Near the end of the castle, you're usually supposed to hit a P-switch to turn those coins into blocks, but with Peachet, you can just skip all of this and make it to Lemmy and defeat him, and now World 1 is done. World 2-1 is home of many fishy boopkins throwing spiky balls at you. Thankfully, we can use them to bounce in the air and glide out of the screen and skip most of the dangerous coins. World 2-2 takes place in a cave underground and does feature this one annoying part where you have those pokies hanging from the ceiling and preventing you from dodging those pesky coins. It takes patience, but wait for the perfect timing and you'll eventually beat it. World 2-3 takes place in a dark cave, with only a couple of lights to show you where to go. You can imagine this level is far from being easy, as you have to make nerve-wracking jumps in the dark to dodge coins and piranha plants. This is not a friendly level at all. World 2-Tower is your next stop, and basically you're supposed to spin those screws in order to make platforms appear. But if you spin them all the way, coins are also coming out of nowhere on top of those platforms. You'll have to spin them just enough for them to open up the top and then do some precise spin jumps to squeeze yourself up there without getting squished. Thankfully, you don't have to spin anything for this second part, as you can wall jump left and right to get to the top. My strategy for this final part was to spin this all the way, then to make your way to the left and climb up from there, as there are no annoying coins as opposed to the right part, which features a lot of them. And there we go, we did it. World 2-4 features those statues moving to the left. As they do contain coins on top of them, you'll have to make some wall jumps to dodge them all. Now, if you've been following me on Twitter, which you should be, you may remember this part here where dodging all of the coins is super spooky. To be fair, I do believe I got lucky making it to the end without touching a single coin and getting bit by those bad piranha plants. World 2-5 is next, and you'll want to dodge those bad guys throwing boulders on the platforms. Thankfully, you can use those same platforms to jump above all of the enemies and coins and make it safely to the end. World 2-6 is pretty easy if you take your time and take a good look at where the coins are on those moving platforms. World 2-Castle is up, and it's actually super easy. Basically, just glide above the lava and you'll easily make it to the end without touching one of those gross coins. Beat Morton, and we can now move on to World 3. World 3-1 is actually pretty easy, as most of the coins are hidden inside those huts. Just make sure you do not go inside of them, and this level will be done in no time. World 3-2 is taking place underwater, and there's a couple of coin bubbles that are really spooky. Thankfully, those golden cheap cheeps actually move out of your way, so it's pretty helpful. I gotta admit that this part with the Urkins and the coin bubbles was pretty scary, but thankfully it can be done. World 3-Tower is our next stop, and it does contain a lot of spiky pillars moving super fast. Most of the platforms in here contain coins, so getting up there in time is insanely difficult. I eventually managed to make it there by being super lucky, but there's no way of dodging all those coins over here as Peachet, as we are too tall. A million tries later, I am here to announce that I believe that this tower is not possible as Peachet only. Is this the end of the quest? Well, not really, as World 3 and 4 can both be accessed by going up or down this path. We tried going down, it was a failure, so let's go up to World 4. Welcome to World 4-1, a vertical level where you must go up. Those types of levels can be quite tricky, as you can't really see what's above you before you jump. You also have to avoid the bruisers punching barrels your way. This level is thankfully pretty easy though. World 4-2 does contain a whole lot of coins spinning in circles, but doing a Peachet spin jump will give you enough height to go above it all. In fact, this is the strategy that I recommend for dodging pretty much every coins in this stage. Next up is World 4-Tower, and it features tons of icicles ready to fall on you and stab you, but thankfully our girl Peachette can dodge most of them. This part here is quite scary and requires a very precise jump, but besides that, this tower is pretty easy. World 4-3 starts off with a very tricky part where you have to go under those coins, which is kinda tricky. This part here with the million plants spitting fireballs is also very technical, but we can thankfully go under the platforms and make it to the end safe and sound. World 4-4 contains a lot of those banzai bills, and they will be of great help to actually dodge all of the deadly coins. Basically, by bouncing on top of them, you can skip most of the level, which is pretty good. Next up is World 4-5, and this one is a big problem in this quest, as you automatically grab a coin once you go down this pipe. There's nothing you can do, you'll always grab at least one coin no matter what buttons you mash. Anyways, if we take a look at the rest of this level, there's like a bajillion coins, so dodging them would probably be impossible anyways. Thankfully, as this level was on a split path and we already completed 4-4, we can move on to 4-Ghost House. Now, this stage is a treat. Basically, you stand on those boxes, advancing through the stage, and when you reach those fake walls, they burst into deadly coins. This is not that much of a problem, but this part over here is extremely difficult. There's a circle of deadly coins, and around it is a circle of dangerous boos. I've tried to fit in between all of this for a long time, but no matter what, I always end up grabbing a couple of coins, and if I manage to avoid coins, I always got hit by the boos. Sadly, this level cannot be completed without grabbing a couple of coins. This is the end of the quest. Or is it? Listen, after 3 hours of trying, I had an epiphany. What if we grabbed a blue baby Yoshi, as these little guys can turn enemies into coin bubbles? Would you look at that? We can actually turn boos into coin bubbles. This means we can at least get rid of the boo circle and just focus on dodging those pesky coins. So you actually have to wait for the coin bubbles to disappear, and there we go. We did it, guys. We cleared this part and can finally move on to... Uh-oh. Another one of those? And this one has 2 circles of deadly boos? And I got rid of the baby Yoshi earlier. Aww. So I tried again, I cleared the first part, then I carefully threw the baby Yoshi over there so that I could cross the path with the coins, and then I got the baby Yoshi back and carried him to the second deadly circle of boos. This level was so insanely difficult and technical that I finished it with 3 seconds on the clock to spare. Like, dude, that was hardcore. And wanna hear the best news? We did all of this for basically nothing. Welcome to World 4-Castle, a castle where you must go from platforms to platforms as fast as possible because of those thwomps that break the blocks under your feet. Now tell me, how can we do this without touching a single coin if there are some coins on every bricks? Well, the truth is, you can't. This level is actually impossible. This is a dead end once again. And now, with both World 3 and World 4 out of the picture, we have to rely on using a secret exit that could bring us to World 5. Turns out there's one that could be useful in World 2-4. So if you do a ground pound over there, you can get up in the sky and reach out a brand new level. World 2-Plant is up, and this one is super easy. It features plants spitting fireballs, but I mean dodge them all and you'll clear this level in no time. And look at that, a shortcut that leads us right to World 5. Now that is epic. World 5-1 contains a lot of those vines, but trust me, you don't want to swing them because if you do, you'll end up touching some of those coins. So basically, you want to grab a vine and wait for it to almost come to a full stop before jumping to the next one. But besides that, this level is kind of easy. World 5-2 is also pretty easy, as most of the coins can be avoided by simply gliding above them all. World 5-3 features those spider thingies, and basically you'll want to fly above them to avoid collecting any deadly coins. Next up is World 5-Tower, and it requires you to stand on the green snake block while dodging those spiky enemies and those bad coins. But to be fair, this level looks way more difficult than it actually is. You'll quickly learn the ropes and get to the top to defeat Boom Boom and move on. World 5-Ghost House is up, and basically you want to stay as high as you can in the air to dodge the coins, and that's pretty much it. World 5-4 is also pretty easy. Basically, take your time, make your move when it seems safe, and make sure to enter this pipe over here to reach out the secret exit, as it's the only way of actually advancing to the next level. World 5-5 is our next stop, and basically this one requires you to grab a coin to enter the pipe, so it's kinda bad. Thankfully, ground pounding this statue here does give you access to a secret exit, but to be fair, I didn't manage to clear this part without collecting one of those annoying coins that pops out of nowhere. I'm pretty sure that this level can actually be done without touching a coin, but I tried for a while and I couldn't do it, and to be 100% honest with you, I couldn't be bothered to keep trying, cause we already completed 5-4 and we can already move on to 5-6, so beating 5-5 is kinda pointless, why bother? World 5-6 features lots of coins and those sumo enemies that create electricity on platforms under them. This will be annoying, especially near this part here where there's 3 of them and tons of coins to dodge. Basically, I suggest getting inside that pipe as soon as you can to get near the end of the level and beat it easily. World 5-7 is up, and this one wants you to go up by bouncing on wigglers, and it's not the most complicated level ever. But sadly, to complete the level you have to go up the pipe over here, and sadly there's no way of going up that pipe without touching a coin, so this one's impossible. But once again, we were on a split path, so we can still go to the next level. World 5-Castle features tons of coins popping up from the lava as you swing from chains to chains, but to be fair, if you make sure to stay near the very top of those chains, you'll be good and this level will be done in no time. Defeat Iggy and we can move on to World 6. World 6-1 is actually quite easy, as you can pretty much glide above the entire stage and skip it all together. For World 6-2, you'll want to stick to the very top of those purple poles, as there's a lot of deadly coins down there. Slide under those 2 coins and this level is complete. World 6-Tower features a little problem over here. You see, you're technically supposed to hit the invisible blocks to create a bridge so those spiky things break the blocks and let you pass. But sadly, some of those blocks feature coins. Thankfully, on each side there's an invisible block with a moon inside of it instead of a coin, so this means we can still create the bridge needed without collecting a coin, and therefore allowing us to complete this level and move on. World 6-3 is super easy, just spin jump your way to the top while dodging those fishy boopkins. World 6-4 is a very difficult stage. This stage is a vertical auto-scroller set in the dark, featuring tons of enemies, hidden coins, and deadly plant-spitting fireballs. You'll actually have to play this stage and memorize where the coins will pop if you want to finally be able to complete it. It takes time, but it is possible. World 6-5 contains a lot of annoying plants that will make it insanely difficult to dodge all of the coins. Although it may be possible, we have our blue Yoshi buddy available just over there, so let's use his bubble ability to clear out a safer path for us to get to the end. World 6-Tower number 2 is up, and this one is quite easy as you can climb the tower using Peach's spin jump ability. Just make sure to watch out for those sumo dudes. Welcome to World 6-7, and as you can see, this one features a problem right from the start. You have to get inside that pipe, but there are coins right on top of them. There's actually no way of going down without at least getting 1 coin. But anyways, the rest of the level did not seem promising, so we'll have to call this one impossible. What do we do now? We're kinda stuck here. Well, not quite. If we go back to World 6-5, we can use the secret exit over there to create a path allowing us to hit the red switch and therefore bringing us to World 6-Castle. And since we're getting in that castle via the back exit, this level is super easy and will be done instantly. With Roy defeated and out of the picture, we can finally move on to World 7. 7-1 is super easy, as you can bounce on top of those ice bros to skip most of the level. World 7-2 is also quite the easy level and doesn't feature any annoying coin. For World 7-3, you want to stay on the very center of the rainbow platform to dodge the coins located left and right, and the remaining of the level is quite easy. World 7-Tower is up, and this one will be quite the problem. The first part here can be done while dodging all of the coins, but as soon as you reach this final part over here, we have a big problem. You see, there are tons of deadly coins and there's basically nowhere to go to dodge them all. Plus, the platforms on the roof and the floor just close in together super fast, so you have to run as fast as you can to avoid getting squished. Sadly, I tried this for hours and hours and I couldn't complete it without touching a coin. In fact, my best run was this one where I collected 3 coins. I also checked out Steve Gaming's video on the matter and he managed to complete this stage coinless by using a mini mushroom only. But sadly, we cannot be using this as this is a Peachette run and there is no secret exit allowing us to skip this stage. So yeah, we're gonna have to take a hit and get 3 coins in here. I know, heartbreaking. World 7-Ghost House is up, and this one is super annoying. Basically, you'll want to go back and forth on those question blocks to trigger those fake question blocks to attack you and explode. The difficulty here is that those bad blocks explode into one deadly coin. After a lot of back and forth, you'll eventually make it to the end and clear the stage. World 7-4 is pretty easy, except for this part here, where you can get trapped by deadly coins if you're not fast enough, so make sure to clear this level as fast as you can. World 7-5 is pretty easy if you stay in the air and glide to safety. World 7-6 is also super easy and doesn't feature any difficult part. World 7-Castle is up, and thankfully this one is also pretty easy. There's a clear and easy path to dodge all of the coins without needing to stop for too long, so that's kinda cool. With Ludwig out of the way, there's only one more stage in this world. World 7-Airship is next, and this one is actually quite easy as Peachette, because you can actually glide to dodge all of the coins. Defeat Bowser Jr. and we can move on to the final world. World 8-1 is one of the most annoying levels in this entire run. You see, you need to jump above most of the coins if you want to dodge them, but then there are those fireballs falling from the sky in a totally random pattern which can ruin your day instantly. This will take a lot of tries and you'll have to be lucky, but eventually the fireballs will be good to you and you'll finish the level. World 8-2 features this boat part, which can get quite tricky because you need to defeat enemies to make the boat advance, but your jumping opportunities are heavily restricted by those bad coins everywhere. World 8-3 is a problem because of this part over here. There is sadly no way to dodge those 3 coins as Peachette, so this stage is actually impossible. Thankfully, we can go back to World 8-1 and use the secret exit which is located up here. With it, we can reach World 8-4, which features a super spooky beginning with moving platforms and moving coins, but once you clear that part, the rest is pretty easy. World 8-Castle is next, and this one is not very difficult. Basically, you'll want to hold the controller to the right to make the platforms move, and you'll then need to jump and crouch to dodge the electricity and the bob-ombs with the little parachutes. World 8-Bowser is also very easy, as you can use Bowser Jr.'s clown cart to skip most of the level. The first part of the Bowser fight is pretty easy, and so is the second one if you take your time. And there we go, we defeated Bowser once again, and we saved Princess Peach in the world of Super Luigi U as Peachette. So, is it possible to beat New Super Luigi U Deluxe without touching a single coin as my girl Peachette? Well, sadly, no, it isn't, as we are forced to collect a minimum of 3 coins in World 7-Tower. But that's all, only 3 coins, it's not that bad. So, the other day I was chilling, minding my own business, playing some new Super Mario Bros. U just for fun, and then I realized that this little icon down there existed. Coin battle? Huh? I was very confused, because I never even realized that icon was there before, but mostly I just said out loud, what? They have a mode where you're meant to fight for ugly, yucky yellow coins? That's dumb. So of course, you know me, I decided that this was the perfect opportunity for a coinless challenge video. The rules are simple. We are going to be playing all of the 8 coin battle courses and we'll try to beat them without touching a single coin. There's no coin counter on the top left of the screen in this game mode, which is a shame, but we have a recap at the end of each level where we can make sure we didn't touch a yucky coin by accident. As this is supposed to be a multiplayer mode, we have to play with another player. But for this quest, I will be playing alone, meaning that I'll have to bring my boy Luigi around with me. We just cannot simply press A to bubble Luigi in this game mode, so if we want to use the bubble, we'll have to find a way to defeat Luigi, you know, using enemies, shells, pits, or any other means to get rid of him, if you know what I mean. There's only 8 courses in this game mode, so this quest shouldn't be too difficult. Now that everything has been set, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and then let's just jump into it. World Coin-1 is up, and as soon as the level starts, you can see what kind of quest we got ourselves into. This mode is meant to give tons of coins, so of course there are going to be coins everywhere. Thankfully, we can just push Luigi on the floor at the beginning, preventing us from collecting those ugly coins there. Watch out for the coin outlines as well, because if you touch them, they instantly turn into yucky coins afterwards. I managed to get Luigi a super acorn and use the flying spin jump attack and gliding abilities to make my way to the end of the level. You know what? I knew all of those previous challenges of me playing games while holding Luigi were gonna pay off eventually. As I grabbed the flagpole at the end of the level, I was given what the game calls bonus coins! Ugh, there's sadly no way to dodge those bonus coins, no matter what you do. But as you can see, they appear in a separate category at the end during the coin screen. So for this quest, those will not count. World Coin-2 was a really confusing level to me. First off, it takes place in this tiny screen full of dirty coins. And let me tell you that avoiding those while holding Luigi can get really tricky real quick. Plus, there's a lot of Koopas coming out of those yellow pipes, so making our way up those platforms coinless is very tricky. I had to try over and over again, but this jump over here is very precise, and with the Koopas coming at you non-stop, you don't get a lot of tries before it's actually too late. At one point, I realized that the left side was far easier, so after making my way under there, I jumped to the yellow pipe and tried entering it. But it just didn't work. Obviously, I tried following all of the big arrow signs, I tried going everywhere, I tried every pipes, and there's just no end to this stage. So at one point, I decided to simply wait for the time to run out, assuming this was a timed-based stage and that something would eventually happen. Well, something did happen after the 200 seconds time limit. Yeah, death happened. So, what are we meant to do here? Well, you guessed it. You are meant to collect tons of shiny yellow coins, and after collecting a bunch, and I mean like a bunch, well, eventually a rainbow pipe appears from the sky and takes you to the flagpole. What is that? I mean, I've played lots of new Super Mario Bros. Games in the past, and that's actually the first time a pipe was coin activated. Hopefully this will also be the last time this happens, but as you can guess for now, this level cannot be beaten without touching a coin. World Coin Dash 3 starts off in the worst way possible. I mean, check this out. Mario and Luigi are literally stuck in the middle of a ring of spinning coins of death. I tried doing a super ground pound attack to get rid of the coins, but it's just no use. You actually have to be skillful and do a very precise jump in between the moving coins. It is possible, but very scary. And since you cannot bubble up Luigi, you have to do it with both characters in a row. Let me say this is harder than it looks like. Took me a lot of tries and probably a bit of luck, but eventually I did it with both plumbers. Not gonna lie, the level doesn't get easier as we move right, as there are tons of coins on your path everywhere. We actually have to take the underwater path down there if we want to avoid all of those coins. I did try to play every sections twice, bringing my bro Luigi with me, but the ending part was just too difficult. So I eventually abandoned Luigi, and after he turned into a bubble, I could actually swim my way in between all of the seesaws, Koopas, coins, and all other hazards, and made my way to the flagpole. Let me tell you, this one wasn't easy though. World Coin Dash 4 takes place on a cloud platform that slowly makes its way to the right, and there's a lot of coins on the path too. Oh, and they're moving all over the place. Obviously, I'm not even carrying Luigi for this level, there's just no chance of that happening. Goodbye, bro. Now that Luigi is bubbled up in his corner, we are free to move left, right, and duck to avoid touching any disgusting coins. Oh, and watch out for those blocks appearing out of nowhere, as they can push you on those coin outlines, and that can get dangerous real quick. This next part features many cloud platforms and far more moving coins to dodge. It is actually insanely difficult to dodge those coins, and using the middle or top cloud platform is not a viable solution either. You really need to stay on the bottom cloud and be extra skillful and lucky to be able to dodge all of the coins. Oh, and the star coins, well, they don't count, okay? Shh! It took me a lot of tries, but it's actually possible to do it. Sadly, this next part contains two pipes on rails that shoot ugly coins on the cloud platform. That is not a problem up until they flip sides and start shooting them down. There is not a single place you can go to hide or escape those yucky coins, and you're forced to collect a couple ones. So I think this level might not be possible. In the Switch version of the game, because the Wii U version gives you the option to place boost blocks using the gamepad's touchscreen. Using those, you can simply go above the pipe and you never have to deal with it. So yes, this level is actually possible thanks to the Wii U gamepad. Yay! I'm glad I didn't throw you in the garbage bin, pal. I mean, after they announced Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, who needs a Wii U anymore? Oh, did I hurt your feelings? I'm sorry, Wii U. I'm sorry! World Coin Dash 5 starts off with a tricky jump you have to make to get into the pipe, but it's not that difficult. Oh hey, an underwater level! Now that's new. There's lots of coins on your path as you swim, and there's even more being shot out of these colored pipes, so stay as far as you can from those. I learned it the hard way, so hopefully this will help you out. There's also this big dragon eel enemy following you non-stop, trying to eat you whole, which can be quite annoying, but we can easily fool it by just swimming around. Oh, did I ever mention that touching the midpoint flagpole gives out dirty coins? No? Well, now I did. Don't touch it. I also learned that the hard way. Now, to be fair, this level is not very difficult, and if you just move carefully around the coins, the dragon eel, and even Luigi's bubble, well, you'll soon reach the pipe at the end and will beat this level without a coin. World Coin Dash 6 is up and takes place in a very scary ghost house that is full of coins, coin outlines, and angry bruisers ready to punch everything in their way. Make sure they punch Luigi out of the way and let the real game begin. Alright, let me explain the issue with this level. Every staircase is full of coin outlines, meaning that you only get one chance to make your way to the top, because after that, those outlines are gonna become unavoidable coins. My trick here was to get rid of the first bruiser with a ground pound attack, and then luring the second bruiser up there to punch this box that is full of coins out of the way. After that, you'll have to be extra lucky and extra careful. Grab these power-ups from this block over there and start making your way up as fast as you can. Take damage from the bruisers if needed to get them out of your way, and you'll eventually make your way to the top. Grab a mushroom from this bubble too if you can, as this gives you more opportunities to damage boost your way up the staircases. Eventually, you'll reach the top, and the only thing left to do is to grab a barrel and break this box to reveal the door leading to the flagpole. Whew, we did it, but what a scary level this one was. World Coin-7 looks like this. Does it remind you of another level we played earlier in this quest? Well, if it doesn't, let me refresh your memory. Yep, it's another one of those levels where there's just nowhere to go. You cannot enter any of those green pipes, and all you're meant to do is to collect a bunch of coins to make a rainbow pipe appear. This level is even worse than Coin-2 because it contains even more rooms after that. There's a total of 3 rooms in this level where you need to collect like a million, bazillion, trillion coins. So you bet this one is not possible. Let's end this quest with the final stop of the day, World Coin-8, a vertical level taking place in the sky, containing lots of bouncing mushrooms, coin falling out of the pipes above your head, and even more coins on moving platforms. It also contains 2 evil checkpoint flags that we have to avoid. This level is actually super difficult, but doesn't seem that impossible. Well, in a way. This ending over there with tons of falling coins might prove to be impossible for this quest, but all of this is irrelevant because of one simple thing I didn't mention. Introducing the start of this stage. Yep, you have to bounce on a cloud platform and make your way in the sky, plowing through rows and rows of evil, disgusting, unavoidable coins. Yeah, this level is not possible either. So, is it possible to beat the coin battle stages in New Super Mario Bros. U without touching a single coin? No, it isn't. Out of the 8 levels of this mode, we managed to clear out 5 without touching a single coin, and then 2 of those were not possible because of the coin collecting rainbow pipe mechanic, and 1 was impossible because it starts off with unavoidable coins. Sadly, this quest is a failure. But to be fair though, beating 5 levels in a mode called Coin Battle without collecting a single coin is still pretty good in my book.